Job Search Advice Radio. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. People hired me for no BS job search advice and career coaching globally because I make things easier for people. And today, continuing with this theme, I'm going to be using until Christmas or my Christmas break, short answers, or I should say answers to questions, shorter shows, and this is probably a relatively long answer. So it's a question about what are the advantages and disadvantages of phone interviews from both a job hunter perspective and an employer perspective. Hope you find this helpful. Please share it on LinkedIn and elsewhere. It will help other people. And I'll be back in just one moment. What are the disadvantages and advantages of telephone interviews for an interviewer or the interviewee? For the interviewee, let me start with that. Phone interviews are easier and harder than face-to-face interviews. They're easier in that you're at your home, you're wherever you're comfortable. You can have notes in front of you. You can have the job description in front of you. You can have little reminders for yourself about things you may have been told by the third-party recruiter to highlight in the course of your answer. Remember, they can't see that. You can. That makes it easier. It's harder in that they're not influenced by your appearance, by what you're wearing, how good looking you are. They're not influenced by your wardrobe. All they have is your voice to go by. And most people aren't really good at oral presentations. So your voice is your sales tool. People forget that. And thus, although you may have the answers in front of you, you may need to, shall we say, prepare how you're going to talk about things, even though you have notes in front of you. From the interviewer standpoint, if they don't like you, they're going to be off the phone in 15 minutes. That's an advantage from a time standpoint. Yes, they could do that in person, but in person, it's ruder to do, and that's the way people do it. They also don't have that walk to and from the office. They can be a couple of minutes late. They're also not dragging you to a place for a half-hour conversation. From their standpoint, it's a time saver. They can book you in the slots of the day, schedule in a way that works for them. It just seems simpler. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few ways I can help you. First of all, visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. There is a ton in the blog in the way of useful information for you and your career that can help you find your next job, help you hire more effectively, manage and lead better, but there's a lot more job search material there. At the site, you can also find out about my video courses, books, and guides, schedule time for a free introductory call, which I call a Trusted Advisor session, or just ask me questions through Trusted Advisor services, where you book a little bit of time with me and I answer your questions. Or, of course, you can schedule time to go into coaching with me so I can help you with your career, particularly with a job search. Because after all, people hire me for no BS job search advice and coaching globally. I'd love to help you. Lastly, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/The Big Game Hunter. Have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great.